So, would you rather have feet binding in China or fight the Mongols?
Um, Personally, I would choose to fight the Mongols because I definitely don't want my foot messed up if I needed to run. So I think I can take my chances with that. With
Uh,
Genghis Khan, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather travel with Marco Polo or travel with Ibn Battuta?
I definitely want to travel with Marco Polo down the Silk Road, see what's the deal with all that. I'd like that.
Okay. Would you rather be a peasant in China in the 1300s or a peasant in France in the 1300s?
Um, hmm. I would actually say probably in France because there might be more of an opportunity to maybe work up the social ladder. Um, I don't know. I feel like maybe in China it might be you might not really have as many opportunities to do that.
Okay. Would you rather be a European knight or a Japanese samurai?
I would definitely want to be a Japanese samurai. I think the Japanese codes that they have and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that is really cool, and I think that the tradition of all of it is so much older than the just being getting knighted
Yeah,
in Europe in those times.
definitely. Now, would you rather study at the House of Wisdom during the Absid era, translating works from Greek and Syriac to Arabic, or study for a civil service exam in China?
I would definitely want to do the translations. I think that would be way more interesting and fascinating, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely with the civil service exam, it's definitely a lot more stressful.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. Would you rather go on the Indian Ocean trade route or the Silk Road trade route?
I think that the Silk Road would be really, really cool to see, especially since I said I'll travel with Marco Polo, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, now last question: would you rather be a woman slash merchant slash religious minority in the Mongol Empire, or be a woman merchant religious minority in the Dar al Islam?
I would definitely want to be a woman in the Dar al Islam because I just think that there would probably be more of an opportunity for me to be protected, I guess you could kind of say. I just think that the Mongol Empire time, I don't really know how well they treated women, but I would definitely think that somewhat more of like a Christianity, Islam faith, that women were probably held with a lot more respect.
Okay,
Hmm.
definitely. All right, now you can ask me some questions.
All right. Um, would you rather be a Jew in a Christian kingdom or a Jew in an Islamic state?
I would rather be a Jew in an Islamic state. Although the Jewish communities in Arab and Islamic countries fared better and overall than those in the Christian lands in Europe, Jews were no strangers to persecution and humiliation among the Arabs and Muslim. Jews in a Christian kingdom, however, were treated like the lowest people possible and were given little to no respect.
Okay, it's interesting. Would you rather be a noble civil servant in Europe or be a noble civil servant in China or a noble civil servant in the Americas?
Definitely would want to be a noble civil servant in Europe rather than passing an exam like in China. I could simply be born as becoming a noble. Nobles in Europe were treated with great respect and even received favorable treatment from the government. They were rich, had special schools, and had many rights. This increased after the Industrial Revolution as well.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely, I totally agree with you on that. That's a good point. Would you rather sail against the monsoon winds without a lateen sail or sail against the monsoon winds without a compass?
Definitely wanted to sail against the monsoon winds without a compass. If a boat didn't really have like a lateen sail, it wouldn't be able to be steered. Therefore, it would be almost kind of like useless going against anything like a monsoon. Many sailors had to sail boats before the invention of the compass, and they were forced to use like the North Star to kind of determine where they're going.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So they definitely could adjust to it.
Definitely. Would you rather defend yourself from Viking invasion or defend yourself from Mongolian invasion?
Since the Mongol Empire's military was really large and powerful, I would have to choose defending against myself from a Viking invasion. Since the Vikings kind of attacked by boat and stuff, it would be easier to defend against them since it would be predictable where they would be kind of coming from. And whereas with the Mongols, they practiced guerrilla warfare and could sneak up and attack anywhere, really any point.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's a really good point. Would you rather be under Mongolian rule as a Chinese, or be under Mongolian rule as a Russian, or be under Mongolian rule as an Arab subject?
Definitely want to be under Mongolian rule as a Russian. When Russians were conquered by the Mongolian Empire, they were just forced to change kind of their cultures and those of the Mongols. However, with the Chinese, many of them were killed in an attempt to crush the last Song resistance.
It's really interesting. Would you rather be a merchant in Malacca in 1350 or be a merchant from Venice in 1350?
Definitely rather be a merchant from Venice in 1350. The descendants of settlers in Venice commanded warships and ruled the Mediterranean Sea. They sailed in great merchant galleys and were the lords of the sea, trade routes basically in the sea.
Okay, that's really cool. Would you rather be conquered by the Aztecs or by the Incas?
I would definitely rather be conquered by the Incas. Although they had a very large and powerful military, they were overrun by about only like 200 Spanish conquistadors, so it's probable that they wouldn't really be conquering anything. On the other hand, the Aztecs were very brutal. They sacrificed many war captives as part of an important religious festival.
Yeah, I definitely would have said the exact same thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, would you want to be able to speak English, Arabic, Latin, or Swahili if you travel to any place around the 1450s?
Probably Arabic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Where do you think you would want to travel?
I mean, definitely all of the Middle Eastern, territories and everything like that, especially because that was like where a ton of trade and everything was pretty much going on. So, that would be my number one choice for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you.